Hey, it's been a minute. I haven't made one of these kinds of videos in a minute. The first one of these videos I kind of made was about 2 months ago, back in November, kind of detailing like what's going on in my life and what I have planned and kind of where I'm at currently. And this is the second follow-up video because it has now been 2 months. I took my first MCAT. How do I describe this? It didn't exactly go how I expected. It's just one of those things where I feel like I did well in the areas I didn't expect myself to do well on and did not as well in the areas I should have done well on. Now, obviously, there's no way of me to know this information. It's going to take a while before I find out my score, but I figured I'd kind of talk about it because, well, now the idea is like, what is the next chapter in my life? Because obviously, depending on whether or not I do well on this MCAT, is going to determine whether or not I need to take it again and what schools I'll be applying for and my entire future ahead of me. And so, I don't know, I guess I felt the need to kind of make a video about this because, truth be told, I don't know. I don't really know. You know, I spent a good 4.5, mostly like almost 5 months studying for this exam, preparing in advance. And now that I kind of reached the end of it, I'm kind of at a place where I feel a little lost because I'm like, wow, what now? Obviously, I need to keep working and pushing towards my goals for what I want for my future, but it just is a very weird feeling. I don't think euphoric is the right way to describe it, but I think it's definitely something interesting, something I don't think I've really ever felt before. Regardless of whether or not I did well on the exam, I do have to say I am proud of myself because it did take a lot for me to just study for this exam. Took a lot of hours. There's a lot of mental strain. It's a really long exam. 7.5 hours, including breaks, I suppose, but it's a long exam. And so, as a result, I just feel as if this is something I need to make a video about because I am moving on in my life and I'm moving on to chapters of it, and I honestly wanted something to detail about like these steps in my life, and that's kind of the whole reason I made this quote-unquote series of my life to begin with, because I thought it would be something that would be rather interesting, and I wanted to do it. There's no other reason. I'm making this video for myself. You know, I say other people, but the truth be told is that like anyone who has seen this video, I can't even say anyone, the video is catered towards me so that I can look back on it and think about where I've been going in my life. I don't expect anyone to take the time to listen to this video, but if you do, I think it's important that everyone know that they should make videos of themselves, detailing their own lives and keeping track of major accomplishments. You know, whether or not I do well in this exam, it was a major accomplishment, a major milestone for me, because before this moment, I really didn't know where I was going. You know, I graduated, was out for a year, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and I decided to commit to this and study for and take this exam, and I'm proud of myself regardless of how I do. To me, that's important. And in terms of the next steps in my life, you know, it's a little daunting because to even go on to further schooling after this is, I don't know, it doesn't really feel super appealing. I'm 23, almost 24 years old, and going back to school again just seems not like a fun idea. It doesn't seem fun at all, but I think if I want to pursue higher education for better goals in my life, or I can't say better, just different goals in my life, I'm gonna have to make some type of change, some type of sacrifice. So yeah, that's just something to consider. I don't know, and it feels like also a big weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. You know, I was really anxious and afraid before this exam, and now that it's over, it feels different. I can't even say it feels right or wrong, it just feels different. So I guess that's really all I have to say about that. Trying to think about what else I might have. Oh, I do have plans though. You know, I need to just keep working, right? One thing I did not really learn as much about in college, because I felt like this information was kind of gatekept by the pre-med community, was the fact of like what you need to be doing in order to succeed and be a standout candidate for medical schools in particular. So I think my plan now is to basically keep working as an EMT, gain a bunch of experience, a bunch of clinical experience, and probably go back to doing some volunteering as well to kind of stand out. But also, most importantly, I do want to try and get into doing research. I think research would be super beneficial for me, as it would also help me to stand out. Though I don't believe myself to be a top contender among many universities and MD, just MD schools in general. I think it would definitely help me out a lot if I could get some research under my belt. And I have some changes coming up in my future that I'm looking forward to and a little anxious, a little afraid for, but honestly, I'm going in, I think, with an open heart and an open mindset, and I do believe that this will carry me forward and has the potential to make a lasting impact on my life. I'm hoping along the way I make lots of friends, and I'm hoping I'm making the right decision. One piece of advice that I did learn, though, that kind of changed my perspective on the way I think, is that I was super afraid to take this exam. Part of the reason I never attempted to take this exam in college was because of failure, that I'm going to just fail. I'm not going to do well. And I believe that the thing that changed my mindset was the idea that doing something is always better than doing nothing. So even knowing the idea of like, okay, you could fail, you could mess up, you could make a mistake. I make plenty of mistakes. But the idea that no matter what, you should attempt something anyways, even if you know you might fail, you might fall short of your goals or dreams or aspirations, you will never know unless you try. And I tried. I tried my damn hardest, and I'm hoping it works out for me. On a side note, I am also playing, this is the original Donkey Kong Country. On my first video, I kind of like took this video footage of when I was playing, like, I guess the first kind of like world area, and I did not want to take the time to go through all the footage for the other Donkey Kong levels, because one, I'm terrible at Donkey Kong. It would have taken forever, and I'm pretty lazy when it comes to video editing and everything, unless I get super into it. But yeah, I'm not taking the time to splice everything, so I just decided to kind of skip to the end of when I finally got to the end of this game, because I'm gonna be very honest, I'm really garbage at platforming in general, and Donkey Kong, to me, at least Donkey Kong Country, was like one of the first kind of standout platformer games that was genuinely super difficult. The final levels of Donkey Kong, I was on some levels for like hours. Genuinely, I don't think I should have spent hours on it, but I was, and I think it was one of the things where like I was so like deep into the game where like I just didn't want to stop yet. So that's what I did, and I did beat the game, so there is that. I haven't really played other games though, because I've been, studying and putting in lots of hours. But that being said, if you did enjoy this video, feel free to make comments about what's going on in your own lives. This is a safe space for everybody, and even if you are taking the time to listen to this, I appreciate that, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, and hopefully part 3 will be coming in the future. Take care.